example of how to change the repeating decimal to fraction, right? The rational number. So if you guys remember, in case you don't remember, let's do that together. Logan and Brandon, can you guys see my whiteboard now?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so we have number 0.235. And what is repeating here? 235 is repeating. So we have repeating bar up here. This is the same as 0.235, 235, 235, 235, and so on, right? Because we know 235 is repeating. So if we say this as an x, what do we need to multiply this by?
Speaker mode.
There we go. Okay, yeah. Ooh, very echoing. It's like open mic. I can sing. Yeah, because 235 is repeating. You need to make sure that repeated part has to be after the decimal point. Okay? So you're gonna have 235 after the decimal point. In order to do that, you can multiply this by 1,000. Okay? So if you multiply this by 1,000, you have 235,000, 235, 235, 235, and so on and so on. Right? Now we can subtract x from there because we have same repeating decimals now. Right? So if you subtract it, you're not going to have any decimal points there. After decimal points, there's none. You have only the whole number here on the left hand side. You have what? 235 minus 0 is 0. And this is gone, this is gone, 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 gone. And you have 999x. To solve for x, what do you do? Divide that by 999. Divide that by 999. So that is your fraction number, a rational number. Any question for that? Okay, one more question. How about this one? 2.345. 45 is repeating. So let me share that again here. You are given x equals 2.345, where 45 is repeated. This is a little more complicated. We can also write this as 2.34545454545, right? Because 45 is repeated. Again, we know that 45 is repeated, so you need to have only 4545 in the decimal points. Okay? After decimal points, that means you need to move this decimal point by one decimal point to the right, which means you are multiplying this by 10x, right? Then you have a 23.45454545. However, take a look at this x. This x has 3454545. That 3 is supposed not be there, right? So we can change this one here. Now we know 45 is repeated, so we can multiply this whole thing by 100. Okay, let me move this. So if you multiply this, oh boy, this whole thing by, let me move this cursor here, 100, then we have 1,000x on the left-hand side. And now what happens on the right-hand side? You can move this decimal point by 2 to the right, right? So you have 2,345.45. 45. There are 45 repeated. So you have dot there. Now compare 10x and 1,000x. Both 10x and 1,000x have 45 on the decimal points, right? So now we can subtract 10x from 1000x. Okay, so let's write down 10x here. That is equal to 23.45454545. Dot, dot, dot. Okay. So I can hit this. Okay. Now what? We can subtract this. So 1000x minus 10x is what? 990x? What's 2345 minus 23? Well, of course, 454545, all of these are gone, right? We can just deduct 4 number here. What is it? 2232? 2322 divided both by what? 990. So x is equal to 2322 over 990. Let me give you one more. I'm just mixing it up, okay? It's not on the note. Logan and Brennan, I want you guys to turn on your video and show me your work. You hear me?
What was that?
Open your video. Turn on your video and show us your work. Okay?
Okay.
All right, sounds good. So here's another problem. Your x is, let's have 23.452. 5, 2 are repeated. Okay, can you find a rational number for 23.452 repeated? So change this to a fraction, everyone. Logan and Brandon, you need to show me your work, okay?
All right.
Peyton, are you done? Are you done with it? Trinity? Amanda? You said it? What is this? It's okay. If you can simplify, that's even better. But you don't have to. Isabel? Okay, so help me out. What would you do? This is the same as 23.4552525252 and so on, right? So we know that this has to be in the decimal point. There we go. So 10x is equal to, I'm going to write this down here. Where's my cursor? Okay, 10x is equal to 234.52552, and so on. Yeah, here again, we know that 5 is repeated, so you're gonna multiply this whole thing by 100. And I can put it up here, right? 100 times 10 is 1,000. And here you have 2,000. I'm gonna line up. So I have 2. What do I need to do? 2, 3, 4, 5, 2. 0.52, 52, 52, and so on and so on and so on. I multiplied this by this whole thing by 100 to get this part. So I will up backwards, okay? So if you multiply this whole thing by 100, remove the decimal point by 2. So I have 2,300, 23,452. 23,452.52552. Now we have same decimal points, right? So we can subtract the whole thing. If you subtract this, 5 to 5 to 5 to, they're all gone. And we know that it's going to be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So you don't have to even consider that. On the left-hand side, 1,000x minus 10x is 990x. On the right-hand side, what did you get? 282? 18. Thank you. Ooh. Why is it keep happening? 18. Okay, now divide both by 990. So you have x is equal to 23,218 divided by 990. If you want to simplify this, you can do it. Both are divisible by what? Both are even numbers. Start from 2. If you cannot find the divisor right away, common divisor. What's the half of 23,218? 11. Oh. Okay, 11,609. And half of 990? 95. Okay, so that's it, right? Okay, this is divisible by 5. This is not.
I didn't try anything else.
Did you try anything else?
No, I just stopped there.
Okay, it's okay. Okay, so we got the idea. Do you want to try one more or are we good? Good? Okay. All right, so we got that. Here, this is a surprising result. Think about 0.999999999. If we use the same method to find the rational number for 0.999, so in the fraction form, what could that be? Shall we try? Let's actually try. Well, actually, I will just show you this, right? 0.999999, that is n or x. Then you can multiply that by 10. So you have 10x or 10n, 9.99999, right? And these repeated 9999 is gone, and 9 minus 0 is 9, and 10n minus n is 9n. Divide by 9 on both sides, and you have n is equal to 1. Hey, 0.99999 is same as 1. Can we say that? We know that they are not exactly the same, right? Well, if we use the same method, we get n is equal to 1. So does 0.9999999 is 1? Let's take a look at this video. here. Can you think of a number that would fit in here between 0.999999 and 1? No other number, right? But actually they are then exactly the same point. Because there's no other number that we can think of, right? But yeah, surprisingly, 0.999999 repeated is same as 1. Okay? All right. Oh, let's think about ordering. Now we're going to compare the decimals. Okay? Just like finite decimals, you can compare by looking at the same digits starting from left-hand side, right? We can do the same thing. If you are comparing these two repeated numbers, where is my sharing? I don't think I shared that video with them. Oopsie, didn't say anything. Okay, so let's go back here. 1.3478. And we see that 3478 is repeated. So that's the same as 1.3478, 3478, and so on. We know that, right? And the other number, 1.347821. Only 7821 is repeated. So if I rewrite that as repeated decimal, it's going to be 1.3478217821 and so on. Do you agree? Now we can compare from the left-hand side, right? We have decimal points here and here. So 1 and 1, they are equal. So we can now compare again. 33, same. 44, same. 77, same. 887. I mean, it's same. But this is what? 100th, 100,000th place? It's different, right? Which one's greater? 3 is greater. So we can say that this is greater than this, right? We can say this is greater than 1.347821. So I don't think it's very hard, right? Okay. So extend it and compare from the left to right. Make sure you match the decimal points so you can easily compare. Okay, here's another example. Okay, now we're not comparing them, but we can compare too. First of all, let's compare first. Which was greater, 0.353535 or 0.351351? 35 is greater, right? Because it equals 353. So thousandth place is 3. Here, thousandth place is 1. So 3 is bigger. So this is greater. If you draw a number line on that, we can find what's in between, right? So let's draw a number line. Okay, here. So if I draw a number line like this, let's say this is 0.35. Change that to 35, 35, 35, and so on and so on and so on and so on. And another number, no, this is bigger, right? So we need to put 1, 351, 351. And another number is 0.353535, and so on and so on and so on. Right? So we know that 0.35 repeated is greater than 0.351, 351, 351. What could go here in between these two different numbers? Can you think of anything? 353. So let's compare this, okay? Compare these two. This one is not there, so let me erase it. Okay, compare those. 3 is the first digit here in the tens digit. 3, 3. 3, we can compare all of that. Next one, 100, 5, 5, 5. They are all equal. And then thousandth place is 1. This is 3. So we know that this is greater than this decimal, right? So that's good. How about between this and that then? This and that. Is this smaller than that? Yes, we can compare the thousandth place. They are equal. But let's look at the 10,000th place. What is it? It's 0. The 10,000th place of this 35, 35, 35 is 5. So it is greatest among these three numbers. So yes, we could find one number that is in between here, which is greater than 0.351 repeated and less than 0.35 repeated. Okay? Any question for that? No? So number line is pretty useful. So we are done for 7.3 and we're going to 7.4, which is a percent. I think we have one more section after 7.4. Okay, percent is very useful and we are using this in our real world situation a lot of times, right? Okay. So for example, if we are doing like paying tax, how many percent of tax do you pay here in Nebraska? 7%, that's a lot. That's like 6%. In Pennsylvania too, I think it's 7% of purchase tax. So 7%, we pay 7% of tax. What other examples can you think about? In our real life. Think about any percent that we're using. Discounts. So how many percent? 30% discount, which means you get off 30% and you are paying 70% of the original price, right? So discount is a percentage. What else? Tip. You can give the tip like 15%, 20% of tip you are giving. So those are percent. What does a percent mean? Percent, per. For each, right? Of what? Cent, 100. So percent means per 100. And we are using this notation, percent, right? So if I say 1%, that means 1 out of 100. If I say 100%, 1 out of 1, the whole thing, right? In our test, we have a percentage there too. If you made 18 correct answers out of 20 problems, it's 90%. How did we get that? 18 divided by 20 and multiplied by 100, right? So that's the formula you can get. The definition of percent is n percent means n out of 100. N per 100. Per 100 is per cent. Okay? Okay, so procedure is pretty simple. To change your fraction to a percent, you can just multiply by 100 and put percent sign there, right? That's it. To change decimal number to percent, the same thing. Multiply that by 100 and put percent sign there. Then changing percent back to fraction, you can take off the sign and divide it by 100. Same for this, right? So you can go back and forth easily. Can you write each of these as percent? How about, there are 8 problems. Okay, that's really good. Yesenia, do A. Isabel, B. Rebecca, C. Peyton, D. Michaela, E. Samantha, F. Trinity, G. Brandon and Logan, you're gonna do H.
You said H?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Calculator, anyone? Do not use calculator. Okay, Yesenia.
3%.
How did you get that?
I just moved the decimal. And then I just moved on.
You have to multiply by 100, right? Yeah. That's how you are moving the decimal point. So you are moving this decimal point to the right. So you have
3%.
3%. Excellent. Okay. Isabel?
Professor Colin.
Yes.
I'm not able to see the PowerPoint.
Yeah, that's because I can show only one at a time.
Yeah, I can't see H.
2 and 1 7. That's H.
2 and 1 7.
Okay, so next one. 0.3. 3 is repeated. Isabel,
I got 33%.
how did you get that?
Times it by 100 and then the decimal 2 places.
Uh-huh. So what did you start from? 0. How did you change it to 0.3333 to what?
I just wrote 0.333 over and then times it by 100 and you would still have.
So you did it like this?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And times 100? Okay. So you got
33.
33.33333%. Okay. Or you can change this to 1/3, right? 1/3. 0.3333 repeated is what? 1/3, right? 1/3 times 100% is what? 100 over 3%. That's same as 99 plus 1 over 3. The reason why I changed this 100 to 99 plus 1, I know 99 over 3 is 33. And I have 1/3. So 33 and 1/3%. That's the same thing as this one. Right? Okay, good job. Let me clear this up and move to C, 1.2. Was it Rebecca? Okay. Go ahead.
So you multiply it by 100, which moves it to 120.
So if we move this decimal point by 2 digits, we get 120%, right? You can also think about this way. 1.2 is 1 plus 0.2, isn't it? 1.2 means 1 plus 0.2. And we know that 1 is 100%. And 0.2 is 20%. So you have total 120%. You can do it that way too. Okay? So always think about there are more than one way. All right? Any question? Okay. D 0.00042. Peyton?
Is it 42%?
So you multiply this by this 100.
Oh,
So multiply that by 100 and put that percent there. Then you move this decimal point to the right by 2. So you have 0.042%. Oh, good job. E 1. Michaela? This is 100%, right? You want to know that? Okay, but 1 times 100 is 100. No, okay, good job. Let's actually erase this. And what did you do?
0.6.
0.6
And then multiply that by 100 to get 60%.
times 100%. So you have a 60%. Very good. So Samantha has changed this fraction to the decimal and then multiply by 100. This is one way, or you can do it this way too. 3/5 times 100. Just multiply that by 100. 100 is 100 over 1, right? And 5 and 100 both are divisible by 5, so divide that by 5, and you get 20.
Couldn't you do
Mhm.
3/5 times 20? So then your denominator would be 100 instead of
3/5 times,
like 20.
you mean you're gonna change this both to 100, multiplied by 20 on both numerator and denominator like this, right? That's what you're saying. Yes, of course you can do it. That's another way. The reason why Samantha was saying this, because she knows that then it's gonna be over 100. You can see this is 60 automatically, and it's 60%, right? If you multiply this by 100, it's gonna be 60%. There we go. Very good. Okay, so you can think of a lot of different ways. Okay, how about G? Three. Good question.
I got 66.666% or 66.
Okay, hold on. 2/3. You change this to a decimal.
Yep, no, I divided 2 by 3.
2 divided by 3, so you got
0.66.
0.6666.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and then I multiply by 100.
And then multiply by 100, put percent there.
Yeah.
So you have 66.66666%.
Yeah.
Yes, that's one way. Another way, we already know from, did we have 1/3 up there?
B is good.
B was right. So what was the percentage? 33.3333%, right? Or we did this as 33 and 1/3%. You can multiply this by 2, because it's double of 1/3, right? So if you multiply this by 2, what happens? This is the same as 2, then twice of that should be 2 times 33 plus 1/3%, isn't it? So we have 66, you distribute 2 to each of them, and you have 2/3%, right? So, Logan or Brennan? Oh, Logan's gone. Brennan.
Yeah, do you want it? Because I found it both ways. I found it in the improper fraction or mixed number.
Ooh, show me improper fraction.
So I took 2 and 1/7 over 100, and then I times that by 100, but I changed the 2 and 1/7 to 1500 over 7 over 100, and then that comes out.
Wait, so you say you're gonna change this to improper fraction first, right?
Yes.
So if you change this to improper fraction, what is it, everyone?
15 over 7.
15 over 7. And then you multiply this by 100 and put percent there. So what did you get? 1500 divided by 7?
Yes.
And what's the answer for that?
It's 214 and 2/7%.
7? Thank you. You can do it that way. Or if you just keep that 2 and 1/7, what happens? You can separate 2 and 1/7, right?
Yeah.
So we can say 2 and 1/7 is 2 and addition 1/7 times 100%. And you can distribute 100% to each of these numbers. So you have 200% and 107%. Right? And this part 100 over 7% is 14 Oh, yes, I'm cheating. 2/7. Okay, 14 and 2/7%. So if you add them together, it's 214 and 2/7%. Good job. Or you can change everything to decimal first, right? So if you change this to decimal, what is it? 15 divided by 7. Anyone? 15 divided by 7. Is that a repeated decimal? 15 divided by 7. Okay. It's 2.142857142 142,857. So 142,857. This whole thing is repeated. Okay? So you can do 214.2857 percent. Okay? So changing percent, I don't think it's really hard, right guys? Okay, good job, Brennan. Okay, now let me share my screen here instead. Okay, so you got the idea. And going back to a decimal or a fraction, what can you do? You can just divide it by 100, right? Of course, you need to take off the percent sign. So let's try this one now. We take the same order. How about that? Yesenia, Isabel, Rebecca, Peyton, Samantha, Trinity. Michaela, you choose one, whichever.
Which one? I have E.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Brandon, you choose one. Once you are done, maybe some of you already have done that in your mind, right? You didn't even have to calculate it. Okay, so let's go with this one. Yesenia, did you find it? What is it?
0.05.
There we go. Take off the percent and just move the decimal point. It was here, right? To the left because you're dividing by 100. So it's going to be 0.05. Keep going.
6.3.
Point.
Mine just be 6.3.
That's a percent.
Yeah, but for decimal, since obviously you have to move it over.
You need to divide this by
So it'd be
100.
0.63.
0.063. There we go. How about C?
1.
Just 1. Yeah, divided by 100 is 1. Divided by 250 by 100, 2.5. 2/3% is already 0.66666, right?
Oh, 0.00.
There we go. There we go. So if you divide it by 100, it's gonna be 0.006666. Or you can say 2/300, right? Okay. How about F?
Yeah. Very confused.
This is what? 33.333333. So it's
Yeah. I believe it's pointer. I believe it's pointer repeating, but I don't know if I did it right.
let's see. Yeah, this is a little bit confusing, isn't it? So 33 and 1/3% is same as 33.333333%, right?
Yeah.
To change that to decimal, we can change this to take off, take it off, divided by 100. So move the decimal points to the left and has 0.33333333. Or we can write this with a bar, or that's same as the what fraction?
1/3.
1/3.
I did it a lot more complicated. I changed the mixed number to an improper fraction
Let's do that. I like it.
and then divided it by 100.
So
and I
third-
confused myself.
Let's try. So 33 and 1/3% into improper fraction. What's that?
100?
100? So this is actually easier way. I like that because you can just take off the percent and divide this by 100, right?
Mhm.
So divide it by 100, which means multiply by 100.
Mhm.
Then what happens? 1/3.
Yeah.
Actually, that was easier way.
Yeah, I
Okay,
know.
thank you for the insight. I
It
like
really confused me.
it. How about now? Is it still confusing?
No, it's better.
That's
I was
good.
very confused.
Okay, and there are some other percent problems, like we had examples at the beginning, right? There are a lot of percent problems around us. So there are three types of problems involving percent. This is first type. What is 15% tip on a restaurant bill of $45.71? In other words, we can say that what's 15% of $45.71, right? How would you solve it? We're gonna do 15% of times 45.71. That's first type. Second type, similar, but a little bit of twist to that, okay? If Nancy sells a car for $19,000 and receives a commission of $475, you want to find what percent of the sale price is the commission. Now you're looking for what percent. Okay, so compare this one with the first example. 15% of 45.71 is one number. What percent of $19,000 is 475? Only our x is changing, right? Exactly the same thing. Percent of something is something. So we know that that percent times total number is a partial number, right? Same here. What percent times 19,000 is 475. The third type of percent problem is this. If the price of a laptop computer is reduced by 35%, somebody talked about the discount, right? Similar here. And the reduced price is given to you. What was the original price? You're gonna find the original price. Or you're gonna find the total bill when you are given the tip and the percent. So there's a little bit of a tweak, but it is actually the same thing. Okay? So let's try with this with the first problem. First type of problem. I'm not sharing the wrong.
I think you have to hit resume share.
No, I don't think you're sharing anything right now. No, over one.
Where the
Yeah,
like,
sure.
triangle is,
Yeah, the sideways triangle,
play.
the
The
play
play
button.
button, right next to new share.
It's the other green.
Yeah.
One more.
Over one.
So go, put
Go
your
to the
cursor
Go
on
to
your
new
share,
share.
Are you
and then
sure?
go over one where it says resume share right next to it. No, you have to be on the bar that says new share. So you're on that
Press
bar.
share. Press share.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, now go back to new share, but don't click on anything. No.
Which
Here.
new shares? So Brandon, you cannot see my screen? I'm pretty sure he is looking
Well,
at it.
you have it paused right now.
Here. Press share.
Mhm.
And
I
then
can only see the whiteboard.
What's that? I didn't see that. Thank you. Okay, do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So this is the first type of the question. What is a 15% tip on the restaurant bill of $45.71? In other words, you're gonna find what number is 15% of $45.71. So how do you solve it? Of can be represented as multiplication, so you can do 15% times 45.71 is equals what? That is an x. So if I write this, with my numbers, I can write it this way. 15% of multiplication, $45.71 is equals one number. That's what we're looking for, right? But since 15% is a percent, it's not actual number. We need to change that to either decimal or fraction number, right? So to change that to a decimal number or fraction number, you can divide this by 100 and take off the percent, right? Which is what? 15 over 100 times 45.71. So if you do that, what do you get? This is what? 0.15? 0.15 times 45.71. And you will get the answer of what? Let me see. 0.15 times 45.71. 6.8565. This is what I got. Okay. It says what is 50% cheap in money? You need to have only up to 100, right? So we need to round it. So let's look at 100 place. Next place is bigger than 5, so we are rounding up and have $6 and 86 cents. There we go. That's good. Next problem is this. If Nancy sells a car for $90,000 and receives a commission of $475, what percent of the sale price is the commission? How can we find that? We can do the same thing, right? The original price is $19,000, and the commission is what percent of? So that X is my number that I'm looking for. Okay, so multiply that by 19,000 because it's 19,000. What percent of? Let me rewrite that as what percent of, instead of we can do multiplication of $90,000 is 475. X is in percent, so if we change that to actual number, it's gonna be X over 100, isn't it? Okay, times 19, this is times 19,000 is equal to 475. So what happens here? You can divide both by 100, and I have 190. X is equal to 475. What do I do? Divide it by 190, and X is what's 475 divided by 190? 2.5. So X is 2.5. I said X is percent, so it is like 2.5%. Okay, any question for that now? No. Let's have one more. The last one. If the price of a laptop computer is reduced by 35%, and that is 341.25. Reduced price is 341.25. If you have 35% off, how much do you have to pay? 65% is what you are paying for, because 35% is not what you are paying for. Okay? So you need to actually have 65% or, oh no, for this question, sorry for confusing you. It says the price of a laptop computer is reduced by 35% or reduced by $341.25. So this is not what you are paying. This is how much is reduced. So 35% of the original price is $341, right? So you need to write this as 35% of original price is 341.25, right? And how do we change this into actual number? Divided by 100, which is 0.35, times X is 341.25. Now divide both by 0.35. remember we did decimal divided by decimal, you can move the decimal point, right? Both of them you can multiply them by same number. So it's same as 34,125 divided by 35. And what do you get? And that's the price, right? So we are done for that.